Hey, so the wording that you choose to use at work is very important. The wrong wording can make you sound unprofessional, negative, or even incompetent or lazy in some situations. So today we're going to look at some common phrases that actually sound pretty unprofessional in English and what you can say instead. If you are trying to improve your professional English communication, make sure you check out the Essential English for Business course. This is a self-study online course that I created to help you learn the fundamentals that you need to communicate clearly, confidently, and professionally in English. I'll link the course down below this video so you can learn more. Our first phrase is, I can't do that, or there's nothing I can do. I can't do that, or there's nothing I can do. Now, sometimes the reality is that there's nothing you can do. However, be careful with saying this phrase right away, especially if you're talking to a customer who is asking for your help. Even if you know that you cannot do something, it is important to come across professionally and at least try to do something before you say, I can't do anything, or there's nothing I can do. So instead, you could say something like, I will look into that and see what I can do for you. I'll look into that and see what I can do. Or I will look into that and get back to you by tomorrow or by the end of the day. So with a phrase like this, especially when you're dealing with customers or clients, it shows that you want to help them. You're trying to help them. And of course, if you can't, you can come back to them and either offer them an alternative solution, but at least you've let them know that you've tried. Next, we have, I don't know. I don't know. Now, of course, we don't know everything, and there are times when we actually don't know, okay? Now, instead of simply saying, I don't know, and leaving it at that, instead, you could say, let me find out, and I will get back to you. Let me find out, and I will get back to you. You can also say, I will double check that and get back to you. Or I will find out for you. Okay, so there are alternatives. Of course, you don't want to lie and pretend that you know something when you don't. That is also very unprofessional. Instead, you want to let the other person know that you will take the steps to find that information for them, even if you don't have it right now. That's not my job, or I'm not responsible for this. That's not my job, or I'm not responsible for this. Now, people usually say that's not my job when they're a little bit annoyed or frustrated, or I'm not responsible for this. It's just a way to kind of throw your hands up and say, I can't do this. And of course, you don't have to take on responsibilities that are not your job or you don't know how to do. But again, you always want to offer a solution. So a nicer way or more professional way to address a situation like this would be by saying, let me introduce you to Joe. He handles this, okay? So let me introduce you to the name of this person. He handles this, or he will be able to help you, okay? Or you can simply say the name of the person will be able to help you with this, okay? So instead of, this is not my job, it makes you sound like I don't want to do this, okay? And sometimes you might feel like that, but you don't have to say it. Now, let's say that a colleague has presented a new way of doing something and you don't love it. Instead of saying something like, that's how we've always done it, or that's how we do things here, this sounds very closed and negative. Instead, you could try a phrase like, I'm open to exploring new options. Or if you're hesitant, you can even say, we usually do it this way, but I am open to exploring some new options and finding new solutions, okay? So it is okay to be honest. You just need to find a way to present the information professionally and politely. Now, let's say that your boss or a colleague asks you to do something or an additional task and you're too busy. Instead of, I can't, I'm too busy, you could say, I do have a lot on my plate right now, but we can prioritize this task if it's urgent. Or alternatively, you can say, I do have a lot on my plate right now. If this task is not urgent, why don't we revisit it at a future date? So you can say, why don't we revisit this task next week or at the end of the month or when this current project is finished, okay? So again, you're too busy, you don't have to say yes, but you want to present an alternative solution. Now, sometimes at work, we didn't know something. We didn't know something that we were supposed to know, or we were left out of the loop for whatever reason. Instead of saying, I didn't know or nobody told me, you could say, thank you for letting me know, or thank you for bringing that to my attention. It can be frustrating when you are out of the loop, when you didn't know something or when nobody told you something, but it makes you sound like you're whining a little bit. It makes you sound like a little bit of a victim and that you are blaming other people because you didn't know, okay? Nobody told you, it's their responsibility. Instead, you can put a positive professional spin on this phrase and say, thank you for letting me know. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. Now, getting the right tone is very important in business. It's very important professional communication, and it is something that I talk a lot more about in detail in the Essential English for Business course, so make sure you check that out. As well, don't forget to grab your free ebook, English Conversations Made Simple. That's also linked below this lesson. If you enjoyed today's lesson, please do give it a thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps me and it helps the channel to grow and reach other English learners around the world. Thank you so much for watching, learning, and spending time with me today. I'll see you very soon in another one.